Welcome back
Oh.
to the Sunday service live stream. Mic check, 1, 2.
Check. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, got to turn that off.
Let me see if we've got audio. Welcome back, guys. Another beautiful Sunday.
It's so bright in here.
Yeah, it is. You want a mic check for me?
Check.
Dr. Beautiful.
Check. Okay, good.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful. Okay. So we've got a very interesting reading ahead of us today. But glad to see you guys again. Glad to be back for another beautiful Sunday service. We've got some nice stuff happening in the stars. And I hope you guys took advantage of our elections last week.
That's me.
Hi, Tasher. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
So yeah, we had the big Wednesday night election, the actualization of the Magus, and we're going to be moving forward with that a little bit. We're probably going to be doing that in our guided meditation.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty interesting. This week we're dealing with one concept, and I guess the title of this is the Tower, right?
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun
So
times.
as we're moving through this, I don't want you to be nervous or scared. I'm not saying that the Tower is going to happen to you this week. I'm saying there is a subtle energy that is trying to speak to us about unlocking the Tower's mysteries.
Right.
And this is specifically going to be happening on one of the Nights of the Stars on this upcoming Saturday.
Right?
Yeah. So the forecast this week is actually pretty positive. We have grand trines. It's really, really awesome energy that's going on, which gives us the ability to explore the, kind of more disruptive energies safely.
Right.
So,
I mean, I see an oh great. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I know. Yeah.
I actually like the Tower card because
I've never liked it.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
you got to look at it like this. The Tower card shows up for us when we're being too stubborn to see the things that are possible, have the possibility of crumbling. Going forward, once you have the information, can, prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're going to give you some sigils in case, for any time you run into a Tower moment in your life to help mitigate that. And we're also going to be exploring what it means esoterically. So how this works every single week with these readings that I do, basically I look at the astrological charts and for the week ahead, and certain things jump out at me, certain energies, and I'm like, that's pretty interesting. And then I make note of it, and then I take it into my personal meditation, whatever energy I've kind of identified as the theme of the week. I go in and I approach that God form, that deity, and I just ask it for a little bit of understanding, a little bit of guidance and wisdom, and it points me towards relevant texts. Sometimes I get pointed to stuff I don't want to talk about, but
yeah.
I'm not in control here. I kind of take a step forward. So today's reading is going to be jumping into my least favorite genre of esoteric literature.
Oh, yeah.
But we will be exploring it today. So this being said, welcome guys to Happy Sunday. It's going to be a good Sunday because we're doing something new today in the guided meditation. So we're going to start with a little bit of purification. We're going to do guided meditation. We had certain viewers last week requested that we start incorporating the goddess into the Sunday rites, and I think that's an amazing idea. So Dr. Stone's going to lead us through a little bit of goddess invocation, and we're going to keep building on it too.
Yeah.
So
I was informed of this literally 10 minutes ago, so I had to really quickly write something that was suitable for that today. But I will refine it over time. Just FYI, that's why.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit all-encompassing, not specific necessarily to any one particular energy, right? But
Yeah.
for, all-encompassing, so to cover everybody's needs.
Yeah. So the goddess is incredibly important. I don't know why we haven't been doing
I don't either.
the collaborations, but that was a great idea. Whoever pointed that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll move into our solar invocation, astrological forecast. So it's going to be a great Sunday. Remember, once we get into the sermon, not to take it as this is going to happen to you. That's not what I'm saying. There's not a prediction of the tower this week. Just saying that we're going to be exploring it because of the favorable astrological weather. It's going to showing us kind of the secrets of the tower. So,
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
let's start out. I think last week we learned the Tibetan alternate nostril breathing. So we're going to just kind of like breathe through and clear ourselves out. So if you're man, you're going to use your ring finger on your left hand, cover your right nostril. And for ladies, it's going to be the opposite way, right?
Right hand, left nostril.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, we're clearing that dross out. It's fantastic. So we're going to start our purification. Here.
Yeah. Pardon my sniffles. I've got like bad allergies this past week, so my apologies.
Sorry.
It's okay.
All right. We're going to wash our hands with fire.
Oh, this is crooked.
And burn ourselves with water. Make sure you hit all energy centers. Right there. Use your purifying incense. I purify, I cleanse, and I sublimate my soul to you, O Master of the universe, cosmos, creator of all. Il Eshir Il. I purify, I cleanse, and I consecrate your mind, body, and soul under the authority of the cosmos, under the authority of the creator of all, master of the universe. Il Eshir Il. I cast out all darkness, all influences, and all entities. Be gone. Now, with our purification taking place, we're going to enter to a little bit of a guided meditation just for us to set our intention to let the sun in,
Right.
to let the illumination in.
Okay.
We're going to start deep breathing in through our nose, out through our mouth, in through our nose, and out through our mouth. We may notice a tingling sensation at the top of our head. It might feel warm. It is relaxing. And that sensation that you may be noticing begins spreading down from the top of your head, down towards your ears. As it spreads down through the top of your head, it begins to reach your ears. You may notice your eyelids. They're feeling so heavy, so incredibly heavy. Your eyes may start fluttering, and that's perfectly fine. That's okay. And that sensation of relaxation, it moves down to your jaw, releasing all tension in your face. It moves down to your neck, into your chest, and as this relaxation, it's moving through your body. Your eyelids are getting heavier and heavier. Your eyes may be fluttering, and you may want to close them. If you'd like to close your eyes, you may do so now. As that relaxation spreads through your chest, down through your arms, your waist, and then your hips, feeling so relaxed as you fall deeper and deeper into yourself. So deep. And that relaxation, it begins to move down into your legs. And as it spreads through your legs, it gets closer and closer to the floor. We're going to count down from 3. And as we count down from 3, when we hit 1, you will hear a snap. And that snap will mark your entrance across the threshold. Anticipating the threshold. And 1, deep sleep. Deep, deep sleep. And here in the threshold, we've crossed over to a deep state of trance, into a liminal space. You may be able to see your body from a third-person perspective, from outside your body. And you may notice that there is a golden orb above your head. It looks like liquid gold. It's shining. It's etheric. It's glowing directly above your head. And we're going to let this liquid gold, we're going to let it descend down through the top of our head, fill our minds with this hot liquid gold. And it casts light into our minds. It illuminates our minds. And this liquid gold, it's going to start coursing downwards and downwards. Down through the rest of our head, down through our neck, our throat, down into our heart, into our stomach, down into our nether regions, through our limbs. And as this liquid gold, it spreads through our body, it burns out all blackness, all darkness, and it fills us with light. And we become gold. We may feel heavier. We are shining, we are glowing. As we let the sun, we let the gold into us. Let us cast everything out. And now, with your permission, we're going to explore something together as a group an exercise to train our intuition. As you sit here, golden, filled with gold, having become the sun, having become illumination, you may visualize a door in front of us. We're going to open that door and we're going to look for a chest in the next room. It's a tiny little chest. And on top of this chest is a magician. It may be the magician tarot card. It may be you actualized as the magician. You can see all 4 elements. You see 7 planets. You see his tools, his wand, his staff. It's on this chest. And we're going to open the chest. And there's one object in it. This object is an object of personal power for you. You may remove the object. And we are going to take the object out of the chest, the magician's chest, your magician's chest. And we're going to bring it back with us to service, holding on to it. We're going to begin descending up. 5, feeling golden, illuminated, relaxed. 4, coming back to the surface. 3, refreshed, gold, ready to take in the sun. 2, aware of the room we're in. And 1, eyes open, wide awake. Welcome back, welcome back. And so we have done this guided meditation. We did a little bit of an exercise to help an intuitive exercise. Towards the end of the live stream, we're going to talk a little bit about the objects that we found in the chest. We can do that in the chat.
Yeah. Try to pay attention to how it looks, feels, weighs, color, texture, right?
Mm-hmm.
As much detail
Yeah.
as you can.
So we're going to be actualizing ourselves as magicians together, assuming those roles, and we'll be doing these exercises to become the magicians that we want to be, right?
Right.
The powerful magus.
Yes. I see. Do you see the 4th comment?
The 4th comment. Remember Hecate
No,
as well.
not that one.
Yeah.
That one. The one. No, the 4th one down is yellow.
Yellow. Oh, happy Sunday.
Yeah. Just yellow. Just as yellow. Yellow. I know it might be saying hello, but I'm saying that's.
Oh, yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yes, I understand now. So we're going to move into the Hecate goddess invocation now?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh my goodness. What is happening here? This is
I'll
stressing me out. Okay, can we melt this at the bottom so that, hang on just a second. This candle looks like it's about to fall over. We need to melt it, stick it in there better. Go ahead. Whew. I'm like burning up. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. This chair. Okay. All right. Okay, so hang on just a second. Okay. All right, so if you're open to it, go ahead and be open to this invocation if you want this to come into you. If you don't, just don't do that. Very simple. Okay. Great mother of all beginnings, she who birthed the world from shadow and fire, wisdom that moves in the deep places of the soul, we call to you. Be present in our breath, steady in our hearts, clear in our seeing. May your strength rise in us. May your gentleness guide us. May your truth be spoken through us. Lady of 1,000 names, source of life, bearer of mystery, walk with us now. So it is.
Mote it be.
Okay, there you go. We're skipping and glitching a bit, they said.
Okay.
Thank you. Heather, what? What's up? What the fuck? What's wrong?
All right.
Said we're skipping and glitching.
Yeah. Is it the internet?
This one?
It's better now.
Okay, good.
All right, we'll begin our invocation of the sun. You who are the root of heaven and are above all the stars and planets, holy and honored, I ask that you heed our request and grant us the grace and love of all kings and other kings. I conjure you by the one who granted you light and life. You are the light of the world. I invoke you by all your names. In Arabic, Yazimiz. In Latin, Su. In Phoenician, Mahir. In Roman, Leus. In Indian, Aras. You are the light of the world, and in its brightness you exist in the middle of the planets. You are the cause of generation in the world. By your power and heat made sublime in your position, I ask by your splendor and power that you deign to help us in all ways, and the rest of the earth place us in that noble and sublime position, so that we may have dominion and nobility in the same way that you are Lord of the other planets and stars, since they receive their light and brightness from you. We ask you, who are the root of the entire firmament, to note our prayers and requests. O soul, great illuminator, great luminary, greatest benefic, we ask you on this Sunday to guide us, to help us through the rest of our week, to cast light to shadow, to protect us, to combust all darkness that is sent our way, to make sure no evil entities cross our path. We ask that you help us become gold, that we become a living example of you here in the material, that we assume your qualities, that you lift us up towards you so that we may become like you. We may become gold. Thank you, soul, for your wisdom, for your guidance, and please continue to watch over us. Mote it be.
So it is.
And forgot the solar incense.
It's okay. We're
Yeah, it's
good.
fine. All right, guys.
Oh, it's mine's freezing again. Showing that. Okay.
It's
I think
okay.
we just glitched again. We pay for like the best internet. Just FYI.
Yeah, we probably just
We
need
do.
to get a Ethernet cable.
Oh, an Ethernet cable. Yeah. Why are we? Yeah, we're doing this.
We're doing wireless,
Wi-Fi,
yeah.
right? That's probably why. We'll figure it out.
Okay, guys. So we're going over our astrological forecast. So we entered Sagittarius season. We made it through Scorpio season. Congratulations, guys. We made it through initiation season. But the initiation is probably still going. Initiations don't typically last only 1 month. However, we have made it through the worst part of the year, at least I think. I think the planets were pretty bad for, I think, 2 weeks there right before Halloween. They weren't too happy. Right. However, what we do see here today, Mercury and Venus have kind of conjoined with each other. And when these two are working together, we're talking about an artist, right? We're talking about very creative. We're talking a painter, a musician, that kind of energy. Because Mercury is an intellectual and he is a magician, so he is about the creative act. And Venus is attributed with music and beauty and all that kind of classical associations we have with art. So this conjunction right here is pretty perfect for the artist if we're going to be leaning into that role. And we do see that there's this introduction of this feminine energy. Now we still have this grand trine that is going on between Sol, Saturn, and Jupiter, as Sol is in entered Sagittarius today. This grand trine is a closed circuit. It is a patriarchal circuit, and it is high. It's very practical. It's very useful as a magician. So your spells are going to... Mars is entering halfway through Sagittarius, and we're going to pay attention to Mars because Mars is going to start causing us problems once we hit Saturday. And then the moon right here. We want to watch out for the moon this week because the moon is going to be aspecting nearly every planet in some kind of oppositional or tense way. And so as we're moving through the week, we just want to make sure that we're pumping the brakes on any lunar energy, and the lunar energy is emotional energy, right? So paying attention to our emotional turbulence through the rest of the week. Now, one of the elections that I found, so tomorrow night, Monday, is going to be the first election. The moon is going to be in opposition with Jupiter. Everything else is going to be in harmony, but the moon will be in opposition with Jupiter. However, Jupiter and Saturn are going, a part of this grand trine, and the moon will be aspecting Saturn in a kind of favorable way as it crosses through this opposition. So what's going on here is we're talking about the enhancement of occult abilities, right? So the moon and Saturn, when they are working together, we're talking about the deep occult mysteries. We're talking about psychic powers. We're talking about really...
Right.
Yeah.
I just heard something. I'll tell you later.
Okay. Yeah. So
sorry.
we were talking about like psychic powers, occult abilities. I mean, this is when they are working together and they are opposing Jupiter right here. So Saturn is not necessarily opposing Jupiter, but Luna is opposing Jupiter, and all things pass through the moon. So the opposition is going to be a little more subtle. We need to pay attention to the illusory part of this aspect that's happening on Monday night and the illusion within the occult abilities. So the election on Monday night, it's like if you want to work on any kind of clairaudience skills, scrying, whatever it is, if you're asking, you're going to approach that. What this is going to require in this opposition is Jupiter this week is representing ideologies. It's false or ideologies, dogmas. He is a patriarchal priest, right? He is you can associate him with the institution of the church, right? And so while this may have some positive qualities, when we see it aspected in a bad way, we're talking about the negative qualities of this kind of like institutional priestly kind of thing. And right here, I think Jupiter is communicating this week, especially Monday night as the moon opposes it and it's working with the limitations of Saturn. We're talking about ideologies as false structures. So in order to work tomorrow night with the moon and Saturn in a favorable aspect while the moon is opposing Jupiter, we're going to have to kind of break out of these false structures. So as the rest of the week goes on, we hit midweek, we hit, if you're in the States, Thanksgiving, that kind of stuff. There's not really like a lot going on other than a focus on this kind of artistic energy right here. Like I said, you want to stay away from the moon because the moon will be hitting everything in negative aspects. But you can really, really focus on an artistic, a creative week using this conjunction right here and the sun being so close to it. However, once we hit Saturday, something very sketchy is going to start happening. So we'll have 2 grand trines are happening throughout this entire week, and it's the trine between these artists with the patriarchs and then the trine of the patriarchs themselves. And Mars is slowly moving across the sky, and he is going to hit a square with Saturn. So even though there is a great, like 2 grand trines in the sky, which are great, like this is amazing for magic, this is amazing for your life, it's very positive stuff, there's going to be a little bit of a disruption here with this Mars and Saturn square.
Yeah.
What you could think of the Mars and Saturn square is that's tower energy. That is, Mars is the destroyer and Saturn is the end, right? So
I know. I'm seeing right now in my. I just heard like this is about having to deal with people that are like from religious, like the holidays.
Yeah.
Having family come over that are again like have just different opinions about what you believe, right? Like that's conflict, right? Like that's just. I just in my head I see the fighting. Yeah. This week, you know what I'm saying? Like how there's going to be the judgment. The
judgment, yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
you know
so
what I mean?
we're going to get into this for sure. I love that you're bringing that up right
Sorry.
now. Yeah, so Saturday, don't get freaked out by this because this isn't a dramatic tower showing up on Saturday. And thankfully, Saturn is in a good aspect with Jupiter and the sun, right? So this is the patriarchs are providing this stability while Mars comes in and he introduces like, hey, like look at what's going on here, right? And I think tower. It's really hard to interpret the tower as a positive thing, right? Like,
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like
so,
it ends up being positive.
But I think that we're going to see that, and we're going to learn a little bit about that today with the reading that I was directed towards. So
this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I really didn't want to do this reading, but we're gonna go into it. So anyway, this is the astrological forecast of the week, and I think we're going to be learning about antinomian action, right? For this Saturday aspect. I think for me personally, I'm going to be working with this conjunction right here of Mercury and Venus. That's lasting all week. That is an artist's aspect right there, especially in Scorpio, because Scorpio is a deep thinking intellectual, right? Very passionate, very tortured kind of artist energy. So this is great if we're going to be working on art projects, want to use that in our magic. But then tomorrow night's election is the Monday night, the moon election. That's about leaning into this opposition with Jupiter and really we cling on to. So, yeah. So today's reading.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah. So we are reading from the book of Enoch, right? And for those of you that are not familiar with the book of Enoch is a non-canonical, which means that the Abrahamic faiths do not recognize it as a part of their canon.
Right.
Piece of Gnostic apocalypticism, right?
Because they were about the world ending, right?
Yes. So it is a little negative, and it is the fire and brimstone part of the Abrahamic religions. So being
trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning. Okay, like I personally was triggered that this got thrown at me. However, I came to understand why it was thrown at me, and I'm very thankful of it. So bear with us as we do this.
Truly bear with, because he was explaining it to me last night, and I was like, why? And then it makes sense. But you might get, if you have some religious trauma, keep that in mind ahead of time. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to esoterically interpret this, and you're going to be able to see in lifetime how magicians and how esotericists are able to look at what is considered, pretty dark,
fire and brimstone.
Yeah, negative literature and extract meaning and beauty out of it. Sarah, I see you have a question regarding your natal chart. We will get to that once we get into the psychic hour. We're going to first go into the reading and a little bit of a sermon. And then I think like in 15 minutes, we'll start doing the open questions with natal charts. And as there is a biblical patriarch Enoch, he's old. We're talking about antediluvian, right? Before the flood. And the angels, they go down and they sleep with the daughters of men, and they create these things called Nephilim, which are human angel hybrids that are incredibly sinful, and Enoch gets taken up to heaven, and God gets angry, and he casts all the angels that rebelled to hell. So,
Those
all
demons,
that fun stuff.
right.
Yeah. So we're going to be reading an excerpt from this, and there's a reason for it. It was pointed out. I was instructed to read it, and I think it's beautiful. I think it relates to what we're going to be talking about with the tower. They're with deceit, and they shall be destroyed from under heaven. Move them from the whole earth, and they shall arise from the sleep, and wisdom shall out of righteousness, and a sword shall be given to it, that a righteous judgment may be executed. And they shall be delivered into the hands of the righteous, and at its close they shall acquire houses through their righteousness. And a house shall be built for the great King in glory forevermore. And all mankind shall look to the path of uprightness. And after that, in the 9th week, the righteous judgment shall be revealed on the world. And all the works of the godless shall vanish from the earth, and the world shall be written down for destruction. And after this, in the 10th week, in the 7th part, there shall be the great eternal, in which he will execute vengeance amongst those angels. So, sounds like your typical fire and brimstone stuff. However, there's something like really interesting that's going on here. The things that are immediately jumping out is talking about idols, right? Well, what are idols to magicians? Okay. What is the esoteric meaning of the idol, right? Because if you're going to ask a Christian, they're going to say idols are basically everything that we do, right? However, that's not the esoteric implication of what the idol is, right? So the idol is basically, if we're going to think about, what are idols, what is idolatry, and why do the Abrahamists really care so much about that? And it's because they're worshiping this kind of like anthropomorphic principle of deity. And they believe that there is something that is profane. And this is one of the things that they really don't like about paganry and that kind of thing, right? For the magician, the idol is this projection of the personality, okay? So it's like really we use these icons, these statues on our altars. We use these cards, to help us visualize, help us get access to these deities and these esoteric secrets, right? But what is the idol? What is it talking about? The idols shall be abandoned, okay? What is the idol to the magician? The idol is when we assign ourselves to the deity instead of receiving from the deity, receiving from the divine. When we are projecting our personalities onto the sculpture, right? So we want to think about like a classic example of this, right? Something we see a lot in the entry levels of occultism. Say somebody has a kink, a fetish, right? And then so they start worshiping a goddess, and they turn that goddess into part of their kink and fetish, right? And we see a projection of that person's personality onto this deity. And this is creating the idol. Instead of accepting the deity for what it is and letting the deity inform you, on what it is, informing you through synchronicity, informing you through its literature, informing you through personal relationship. The idol is when we are casting our personality onto something that is transcendent. So when it's talking about, abandoning the idols, we're seeing that happen on Monday night with the moon in Jupiter. As the moon challenges Jupiter, right? What are your ideologies? Why do you have these dogmas, these doctrines, these systems? Jupiter, why do you need those? This is what the moon is doing, challenging Jupiter on Monday night. The very next line, it talks about the temples being burned with fire, right? What is fire to the magician? What is fire to the esotericist? Fire to the esotericist is action, is the active principle, is the very, very first principle, is why we do ritual, right? Before anything, before we start our plans, before we think about them and organize ourselves, what makes us different from other people is we do ritual. So when we are trying to enact our will, we do some ritual, and then we move forward, right? We ask the gods, we purify ourselves, we do the little things that we take action in order to make the metaphysical thing happen. So that's what the fire is. The fire is action. And then what is the temple? Well, the temple is the structure that is protecting the idol, is the building, right? And what do we see on the tower card? The tower on the tower card is the Tower of Babel from the biblical story, right? What exactly is the Tower of Babel? Why is there hubris? Why was the language in the Tower of Babel confused? Why were people taught different languages or struck with different languages, right? This is because they made this architecture. And it was an architecture of language. It was an architecture of intellect. And so their language had to be scrambled in order to bring that tower down, right? And this is the temple that is getting burned with fire in this passage because it is protecting the idol. And what is the idol? The idol is the projection of our personality. It's the projection of our ego onto deity. Instead of accepting the deity for what it is and experiencing the deity, we cast ourselves onto the deity, right? And how do we protect that idol? We have ideologies. We have intellectual architectures of ideas in order to protect this idol, this projection that we have placed. Because that projection is not the truth. It is not the soul. It is not the eternal, right? It's our personality. It's our personality that we have projected onto deity, and we protect it with our ideologies. So, for example, if we go back to maybe somebody projecting their fetish or their kink onto a goddess, and making her into a part of that, that's the idol. And then how do they do that? What ideology do they subscribe to in order to justify that behavior? Maybe they are fans of occult, the philosopher. Maybe they have some kind of political leaning that grants them license to be able to do that, right? That's the ideology. That's the temple. So we set fire to the temple, and how do we set fire to the temple? That's what we're seeing in that tension between Mars and Saturn that happens at the end of the week on Saturday, right? We're setting fire to the temple. And so during this week, I was reading a book, and it was an academic curiosity, nothing to do with my magical work, right? Just pure curiosity. And it's a book about a movement in Judaism that is very hot topic.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
No, I just totally got it.
And so within this movement, they're known as the Sabbateans and Frankists. And this was an academic treatment, unbiased, non-conspiracy theory. And I'm reading this book, and I'm really fascinated by it. And after reading this passage, after being pointed to this passage to read to you guys, I get pointed to a different book, a book on Kabbalah, another academic book by Gershom Scholem, and I engage in bibliomancy. And the first piece that pops up as I open the book up is a passage about these Sabbateans and Frankists. These Sabbateans and Frankists, they were known for something known as Antinomianism. They inverted the Torah, the teachings, the laws, right? And so I think the ritual that made the Frankists famous was something called the Lacrodi ritual. And so the Jews, they would like to think of the Torah as their bride, and they are the bridegroom to the Torah. And so there was a ritual that one of their mystics performed where he had a wedding bed, and he got into the bed with the Torah as the bride, right? Few decades later, another mystic takes it to the next level, and he makes it antinomian. And he, instead of making the material spiritual, and praying to her and that kind of stuff, he completely inverts it, turns it on its head, right? And that's what the antinomian act is. So the reason that these people were doing it was because they were trying to get closer to God. And obviously, the inversion of spiritual laws and spiritual truths can be used to justify pretty horrendous behavior, and it happens all the time. That's what happens in the left-hand path. People use antinomianism to justify things such as SA, drug addiction, hurting other people. That is not what antinomianism is. Antinomian actions, in order to burn our temples, right? These projections, they should be challenging to us. Okay? So, getting pointed towards these Frankists, towards these Frankists after doing this reading, I believe that what it was taking is this action in order to set fire to the temple, in order to challenge Jupiter's patriarchy, in order to doing, and Mars is going to be doing. Mars is the planet of action, right? In order to do that in a healthy way, we have to be challenging ourselves, right? This doesn't mean making sex and drugs our religion or that kind of thing. But if we're going to be engaging in tearing down these idols, really uncovering what the deity is, abandoning our idols, the projections of ourselves, and burning those temples, those towers, right? Tearing those towers down. We need to be challenging ourselves, our deep-held ideologies. What do we use to justify our idols, our projections that we place on the deity? So
I have,
yeah.
So like right before you started talking about this, I got this whole thing in my head, like a picture. I don't know how to describe it right. Like a little movie with enough detail for me to understand what's going on, right? So this, when you're talking about the destruction of the temple, right? Like to me, that could that possibly mean like because I know that some of our viewers are still kind of in the closet when it comes to their practice, right? And because again, this holiday thing's coming up, and that means we're going to have to be around family, right? And some of those people are probably religious, and they go by that kind of Hierophantic, like heresy or whatever you want to call it, any kind of belief outside of that. What if it's about being able to see the inversion of the message that they've been preaching all along, and that indoctrinated guilt starts to crumble, that foundation starts to crumble, and that it begins to be illuminated that this is inverted, like what they say doesn't match the words or their actions. Their actions don't match the words. Like the teachings have been convoluted, right? And so the judgment cast on them and being fearful and indoctrinated of guilt can start to crumble away, and thus open up their powers more, to be more at home and at peace with that's what I was just seeing. Like there's somebody, or few of them, I feel like it's a few people that are going to start to see the facade cracking once they're more open to it, once they have the idea to look for it. Do you know what I mean? Like the projection of the beliefs of others into their own personal belief systems, right? How those things can get perverted, right? And it's more of a personal ideology that's trying to be upheld rather than a, overall message of well-being and health. You know what I mean? Like it's just
an authentic experience, authentic communion, living in harmony with the universe, with the cosmos, right?
Right.
So that the temple, the ideology, is the Tower of Babel that is protecting the idol, which is the projection of the personality.
That's what I mean. Like, so it's like once we are aware of these things, we can start to see them more easily, right? And start to be kind of freed from the grasp that I feel like there's a couple people that are going to start to have like a moment where they see that this is okay, like this stuff I have on me is actually just a projection of other people's ideas that aren't even founded in reality. Like they're founded in some kind of perverse ideology. I see that specifically for like 3 people. I'm literally seeing like 2. 100%. I mean, I wrote this all down here. See, it's like the temple is it's like the structure that they came from.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. I feel like it's 2 females and a male. I don't know why, but that's what I see right now. So there's an action question, like, where does that come from? Like, are they living it? Are they breathing it? Or are they just saying it? You know, how about it are they, these people? And how much of that has been perverted and inverted, right? Because the foundation will crack once they start to see it, and then they'll have a lot more freedom.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm just being told right now. That's it.
We're going to talk a little bit about the understanding of the tower, how we're supposed to approach it and move forward through it correctly, right? So if we find ourselves in tower situations, as magicians, we can do something about it. We could sway stuff. So the tower is of Mars, right? And Mars is entering into that square with Saturn. The Mars-Saturn square is big tower energy because Saturn is the end and Mars is the destroyer, right? And the square is a tense aspect. The Hebrew letter, and the Hebrew letters are going to be your keys to the rest of the sigils of the rest of the language. Hebrew letter associated with it card is Pe, right? It's the 17th letter of the Semitic alphabets. It makes a P sound. In Arabic, it's a F sound, right? And so this Pe, this is something that we can work with. See, the Pe, it means voice or mouth. So it's talking about words, right? And we already went through this with that Mercury-Mars conjunction where words became martial, right? So basically what this card is telling us is about how our words have an effect to construct these towers, but it also has an effect in destroying these towers, right? And so how do we approach the tower? Now, it is recommended that we approach the tower with understanding in order to mitigate the destructive tendency that the tower has to our life, right? It basically raises our life. And we approach it with understanding. Now, there is a certain energy that is in charge of understanding. And the Kabbalists, they call it Bina, right? This is a sephirot of the supernal triangle. There's the third one from the top. But Bina is associated with Saturn. So I'm giving you guys a key to a sigil for you guys to use. And the sigil goes back to the 10th century. It's a secret symbol of the Hermeticists. This is the Pe of Saturn. So this is the tower. This sigil right here, Pe of Saturn. You use this to get that understanding when approached with this tower energy. This is going to mitigate it. Then we say the right things, right? And we don't destroy our lives or destroy other people's lives or create false architectures because we have understanding. This is the Pe of Saturn right here, this sigil. So if you want to use that, utilize it, work with it, that is specifically for you guys. And with that being said, we are now open up.
Heather, it was for you. I can guarantee. I already knew that. Like I was like, this is going to be for Heather. I promise. But you're not the only one, so don't feel too alone. And we have some good. Like there's a good question in here from Eric. Is it Eric? Eric. Yeah, Eric's the projection of our personality on deity. Is that a form of self-worship or an act of self-deification or a defiling of what the deity is, or both?
So the process of self-deification is alignment, right? That's where you align yourself with the deity. When you are projecting yourself onto the deity, that is a defilement, right? Because you're not really approaching the deity, right? It's like, so for example, let's say I took you to a Christmas party, right? And I introduced you as a bus driver. And you're like, but I'm not a bus driver. And you're like, no, you're a bus driver. You know? It's like, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, that's not who Eric is. Eric's not a bus driver. Right.
Right. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, and Heather's like, she's going to be dealing with family and religious stuff during the holidays. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like this idea that they're the people that gave us the indoctrinated guilt that prevents us from being, or possibly can prevent us from being, about 100% out about it, right? And living it every day because of that fear, right? Those people, it's important to take a look at it because of that fear, right? Those people, it's important to take a look at that and see like what, I feel like you're going to start to see it. You're going to start to see the cracks in the foundation there, like the incongruence with the message they purport to support versus the actions, right? And I think it's like more of a breaking free. It's like the fire, the burning, it's like purifying, the kind of releasing those chains that bind, right? Like, because you said it's the end, it's the ending, right? Like Saturn's about endings. So it can be the beginning of the end for that unnecessary kind of pain and like, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, so I think Heather, you're saying about the statue or that kind of stuff. So the lesson or like the sermon on idols isn't, so when we think of idols in an Abrahamic context, we think of the statues, right? That's not what the idol is to the esotericist, the magician, to the witch, right? The idol is when you project yourself onto the deity.
No, we have statues too. I got tons. Like that's where it's you're projecting your own ideas to justify, yourself via that, right? Yeah. So like you had said yesterday, like about they had a kink, right? And then they said, oh, this goddess, like, Isis is a dominatrix.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's something that
what?
That you see
so where did you get that from? Like that's your own.
Yeah.
You've created that. And that is not congruent with the history. That's not congruent with that
always with deity, we are receiving, right? We are not putting up our ideologies. We're not building our towers. We are experiencing, we are asking it. And if we are lucky, they let us be a part of them. Let us have communion with them.
I'll say it. I'm going to say it. This has nothing to do with him. Okay. This is my words. This is what a lot of Christians do with Jesus. They put onto Jesus what, their ideas, and they're almost always completely opposite from what history tells us was actually his ideas, right? Yeah. So it's the people that refuse to be of service, the people that, are mean and nasty to homeless or poor kids that need food, that kind of stuff. Like that is not congruent with the teachings, right? But yet a pattern with these people. That is them putting their own stuff onto that deity and inverting it, right? Like that's what I see. That's my opinion. I know you may not agree with that, but I do.
It's funny because in that book I was reading specifically those Jews that were engaging in antinomianism in the early modern period, they were specifically engaging in polemics against the Christian, criticizing them for being idolaters because they were projecting onto Jesus. They were projecting their politics onto Jesus. These Jews were literally writing like, you guys are idolaters.
That's what's happening. It happens every day, all day now. Like that's what's going on. That's the norm. And it's become so much of the norm that it's now like the inverse to say otherwise. Right now it's like that's the bad thing, is to question it or to bring it up.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying that like there's the most, like I've said it before, I'll say it again, like I am very wary of people that talk about organized religion first thing out of their mouth when I meet them. I'm like, oh, this person is not going to be someone I want to associate with, because more often than not, it's going to be somebody that does not do anything for other people, only themselves, and has this righteous attitude, like you were talking about righteousness, like in that passage, right? The righteousness of it is sickening, and it can be quite like delusional, honestly, I would say. It's like things to people and be a total jerk all the time, and fine, because I go to church, like, what are you talking about? Like, so it's like these kinds of patterns, I think, are important to identify within the structure you came from. Like the structure could be the tower, your tower could be the people that have, formed a lot of your information and the ways that you think, and maybe it's time to kind of detach, start to see how convoluted it is so that you can detach without having that guilt and weight anymore. maybe not for everybody, but I definitely see it for really seriously. I'm saying like at least 3 of you, at least. And I know, Heather, I'm sorry to call you out, but it 100% is you. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, it is, just be prepared for it and know ahead of time and don't let it get to you. The thing is this, when we are steadfast in our belief and we know that we're good people and that we do the right things, we should not allow other people that don't do the right things to upset us. Don't don't be goaded into religious ideology arguments. Let people disagree, but don't allow it to engage your anger or frustration. Like, it's about, I don't know, turning the other cheek here. Like, literally, I hate to say that, but that's what yeah. Oh no, it's saying the audio is cutting out again.
I know,
we don't know what's going on. We've been having this problem lately.
We had a storm down here.
We had a really bad
Our
storm
internet's
here.
been bad.
Well, I mean, it's not that bad, but for LA it is. Yes. Okay. So Heather, does it bother you that they're still on you? Because I think truly, I used to really get upset and want to defend myself, but I don't care anymore. I just don't. Like, that's good for them, yeah, exactly. I'm not here for that. Like, you're free to your beliefs and opinions, and I'm free to mine. Thank you. It's like the thing they always quote all the time about the freedom of religion in this country. Like, are we for it or not? For the First Amendment or not?
All right. So I think, let's see. Sarah had a question about her natal chart.
If Sarah's still here, Sarah, then drop your info in the chat, your date of birth, location, time, please.
The location's just for the ascendant, and I'm not going to do
okay.
Yeah,
whatever.
don't do the location.
You don't need the location apparently then.
Just
okay, hi,
get
Sarah.
Date of birth and time.
Date of birth and time is all he needs for that. I don't know how you know all that stuff. It's like so much to know.
It's not.
Yes, it is. Yeah. 11/23, 1994. Okay, what time?
Yonkers. Yeah.
4:18 a.m. Are you a night owl by chance? Curious. I always like to ask early morning babies if they're night owls.
And what was your question about your natal chart?
Happy birthday. Today's the 23rd. Yes. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Sarah. Work at 4 a.m. Well, there you go. So what question do you have for your chart? What do you want to know about?
Magical paths are good for me, and how to work with my horrible Venus sign as a Cancer moon who wants a family.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Horrible Venus sign. Ooh, Cancer moon. Cancers are, my oldest daughter's a Cancer. Yep. It's quite interesting. Both of my girls have their own signs, but their moon signs are my sign, and then their ascendant is their dad's signs. So it's like my poor Cancer daughter has a Leo moon. So she's got a lot of struggles. Yeah, I hope you have a good birthday, Sarah. The 23rd of November. Divisive. I like that.
Very interesting.
Says she has a strong place Pluto, and it tends to make me divisive. I know all about being divisive.
Yeah, it's very, very, very similar.
Oh, yeah.
Pisces. Beautiful. Okay. Cancer moon, Venus is near your Mercury. Mercury is halfway through Scorpio. Let's see. Trine, where's your Mars? Oh, Mars is up in Leo.
Ooh. Nice.
Sun is Sagittarius. Oh, yeah. So
Ew, you're fiery. Yeah.
yeah, that's the conflict right there. All right, I'm going to have to scry this.
Okay, he's going to script briefly. And looks like, oh, yes. Nice. Nice. Law school. Dope. That was one of my options. I'm triple Leo, and then the next 3 big placements are all Virgo. So I piss people off a lot. Like, seriously. And I don't really care anymore.
Okay, so
What do you got?
all right, what's going on here? So your Mercury and Venus are in Scorpio. This is going on right now, right? Scorpio's deep thinker, very passionate, that kind of thing. Your magic is very creative. It's very intellectual, right? I noticed you said in the chat you were working with Isis as a younger person. And that is the path that you're supposed to be on, right? Okay, so your love life issue right here is your Mars is in a fire sign. Your Scorpio, or your Venus is in Scorpio, which is a water sign, right? These two elements don't work well together, so the sex life is kind of not good. The Venus right here in the Scorpio kind of love, like it's very flighty, almost chaotic.
It's intense.
Yeah, it's the best way I described it is like borderline.
Yeah, it's a special brand of intense.
That's the love story right here. And then Mars being in this fire sign, there's a lot of conflict right there. And then yeah.
1994, right?
I don't really see a resolution for the love life, to be honest. Water. Okay, wait.
There's
Moon,
resolution.
water.
It seems boring to you, first glance.
Because your passion is with Mars. That's what you like, but that's what creates the borderline relationship.
Yeah, there's a like.
You like the fiery.
So this person's very fiery, like argumentative, not in a bad way. I'm not saying like not like a jerk way, but like as in when you hear something that doesn't sound right, you'll like say something about it. Like you're gonna and try to have dialogue, but people take that as being rude or attacking that, like, so you need somebody that's gonna not have a fragile ego, right? Because they'll be offended all the time by how you talk, right? Someone that you can't walk all over, because you will otherwise, but it's somebody that it's not what you're used to at all. It's not what you're used to. That's why I think you have idea in your head. That idea might be a little skewed. The correct houses for without a time of birth. You don't have your birth certificate, or you can't order it.
Do you know if you were born at night or during the day? So basically, what's really going to be affected, the houses.
Oh. Yeah, I know why that is already. Okay, Heather, I'll answer that in a second. But for Sarah, like you care a lot about, it's very obvious that you care a lot about things that you care about, right? Like, I don't know how much you care about things you don't care about, but I know for sure that there's like a passion, fire, like I've had that same problem. So your solution is a grounded person that is comfortable, like steadfast in who they are, right? Abammon, like who they are, like they have to be a person that is grounded in themselves and not easily kind of, worked up, right? And doesn't take things super personal, right? Yeah.
I think,
irritate people if they're really not, if they don't have their healing done, if they don't have a good sense of self, it won't work out. Somebody has to be very about who they are, like you are, but less reactive. Yeah.
So, and then going back to the magical path thing, the Mercury being here in Scorpio, your Mercury is your magician, right? And this is a dual thing. It is a water sign, right? And so when you're talking about Isis, when you're talking about the Egyptian pantheon, Isis and that type of aspect of goddess is very magic, as in the more intellectual side of magic, right?
Right.
It's less witchy.
It's more like I have the ability. It's about, that's how mine is, right? Like I just know that I can do it. Like I don't need a particular, I don't follow a particular type of practice. I just do what comes to my mind, literally. And I've been told many times I'm doing it wrong, that it won't work, etc. And that has never been true. So you need your own brand of informed magic.
It's like,
your path. It's your path.
Pointed towards the high mysteries, right? So Isis is a goddess of the high antique and classical mysteries, right? So she was the mysteries of she was popping up the mysteries of the philosophers, the more like intellectual type of magicians, that kind of thing.
Right.
That's where you're being pointed to with the Scorpio right here, because Isis is also, she has the duality of like goddess of the high mysteries and goddess of, wrath. Like you pissed me off and now you're done.
It's about like continuing to acquire knowledge of all different stuff, like all practices, all different branches, and then identifying the ones that work for you and incorporating that into your own customized special practice, which is what I think everybody should do, personally, because I don't know, I don't believe in the idea that like if I can only practice this one thing and I can't incorporate something from a totally different strain of practice into my practice. It's like I don't tell me what to do.
I think Sarah's it's going to find home in the classical high mysteries, like mystery religion from classical antique, like learned kind of mystery religion.
It's going to be a similar, like a process of just finding those little nuggets that resonate and then going towards those more, and then that'll take you in like different directions, and you just go with that. I think you're already doing it. You're already doing it. I don't know. Like I just have never. I personally, I know Abammon has definitely been part of specific branches of magic, right? I have not. I've always just been doing it. And again, people criticize me for it, and I could care less. It's not their practice; it's mine. So it's cultivating for you what works for you. Regardless of its source, as long as you're working with it and you resonate with it, it's all good. But yeah, it's an intellectual pursuit of knowledge, and that will keep you going. I don't think the path is ever solidified, right? Like it's It's never just one thing.
It's malleable, but there is a path that resonates with you from previous work you've done in previous lifetimes.
Right.
So there's stuff that is for you and there's stuff that's not for you, right? So like, let's say you really, really desperately want to be practicing Shinto and like you're just not getting anywhere with it. It's dead. You're not having any experiences. But then like, let's say you were raised Norse pagan, and every time you pray to Odin, you get some weird synchronicity. It's like, well, one of them's not for you and one of them's for you, you know?
Yeah. And like that comment, the last comment is, I believe in fuck around and find out with magic. What does it say? Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Yeah. 100%. I mean, that's, a lot of people will say like, oh, I do hoodoo, voodoo. Oh, you can't do that. Why not? You don't know what I was in a past life.
Yeah.
Don't come at me like that.
Exactly.
Past lives. Like, so I could have been a freaking voodoo priestess. Who knows?
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
doing like the European grimoire stuff for so long, and I wasn't having a lot of success with it. And when I finally just let myself go to the Semitic Hermeticism, it's all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh,
and Arabic,
like an actual the Arabic and Jewish stuff. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, an actual wizard now. I spent so long doing this, and I didn't understand it because I don't have that in my ancestry.
Well, you don't know that you don't have it in your ancestry because he refuses to get a DNA test, which is crazy to me. But okay.
But then it's like unveiled. It's like, no, you worked in this path in previous lifetimes, and that's why it works for you. Like you've already done it.
So you don't need to ever worry. I'm just gonna say it, and I can be the bad guy. I don't listen to it's a closed practice, it's whatever. It's like, if you're called to practice it, then you're called to practice it, right? Like your soul is not living and dying over and over again. It's only the physical incarnation of you that's doing that. So your soul still has all of those markers on it, right? Despite what nationality you are, ethnicity in this life. So it doesn't matter what cultural boundaries there are in regards to this stuff these days, right? It doesn't. It's just you do what you're drawn to. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone tell you different. Like I mean, if you can, but it's limiting, right? Like, because when we first met, we were recording the first or second episode of the show, and we were sitting there in your old apartment, and I was looking at you, and your face completely changed, and I saw a man that was clearly like Arabic, right, with like all the wrappings on his head, and your face was like leather, like old, like not like an old man, but like this person's been out in the sun a lot and like has a lot of weathered skin, right? And it was shocking, and I was sitting there going like, wow, like his face is completely different. And I told you, and you're like, okay, whatever. But then a couple months later, you started getting into the like stuff from the Islamic tradition stuff, right? And then it just clicks, right? And it's like, what
no, there was a specific mystic that all of a sudden
started showing up,
like got placed in my path.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh, I get it.
Yep.
I was like, I understand now.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Told you. Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually cystic in vain getting into past life stuff.
I mean, like, that's only if you're saying you're someone super famous,
Yeah,
like, I mean,
so I've been like extremely always avoidant of it, but it's proved to be pretty important in discovering my path and reawakening to what works for me and why it works for me. And so I think if you're struggling with who are here on the magical path, it is because you have
been there before.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, like and there's zero, like we're not in any way, shape, or form connected with a website at all. There's no like, we don't get anything for mentioning it. But I felt that not wanting to get that done.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a nightmare.
I was shocked. I learned that I wasn't German after all, even though I speak German and was forced to learn to speak German my whole childhood, thinking I'm German my whole life. Not at all. It was kind of interesting to see my ancestry, despite the fact that it's 99.9% just white, European, like literally nothing else except for the small percentage that it is something different, right? Which is like the steppes, like, right, this Iberian Peninsula stuff. But there's a website called familysearch.org, and it's from the Latter-day Saints Church, and they're known for being fantastic genealogists, right? And it's unlike the other sites like Ancestry that charge you. It is free 100%. And I put in my parents and my grandparents. That's all I needed. And it has populated all the way back to ancient Rome and Egypt for me, quite literally. And I see who my ancestors were, and it's freaking bananas. Never would have thought. So I highly suggest that you guys do that for yourselves and see. Maybe you can find some information there. I know. You don't want to do it, but...
Yeah, I never give a third party my private information.
Oh my God, they all have it anyway.
My DNA, come on.
No, just the family tree. You don't even need your DNA for that.
You're going to give it to the AI, train AI on my DNA. Like,
they already have it, man.
Happening.
Come on. Like, they already have it all. Like, you know this, right?
Not happening.
I'm not happy about it. I'm just saying I understand they have it. So, you know, it is. Oh, sorry. Yeah, is it better? Is it the same? Sorry, wasn't aware. So, I don't know, you guys. I would say try it out. Like, you know, see where you're at, especially if you're confused as to why you're pulled to a certain thing.
Or you're looking for what that thing is that's going to click for you. I know that it took a lot of exploring for me to find what worked for me. Like Eric said, it was once I started doing astrological magic. It's like the type of magician that I went from, it is nearly overnight. It was like, oh my, you know, as like somebody that was able to conjure like $100, $200 every once in a while to my entire life is magic at all times, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like when I found what was for me, and it took years. It took years in order to find it. But once I did, it was like, oh, this feels like home. This feels like me, you know?
Yeah. And like also, you know, when you do have hits like that, when it does work for you, keep doing it. Like, you know, because it only gets stronger. Is it okay? Good. Thanks, Chewy.
The Picatrix, I'd always been into astrology passively, but mostly natal chart. But yes, it was the Picatrix. Is once I started working through it and dedicating myself to the Picatrix, that's when everything really cracked open for me. Because at first it was like I would use it, oh, I want to do a spell or experiment with a spell, that kind of thing. But when I really refocused, I dropped the ceremonial magic and refocused myself on the Picatrix, and I think it's incredibly, I don't think enough people are aware of exactly what is happening in the Picatrix, because it is a blend of Hermeticism and Neoplatonism in a magical format, and those and it's from a direct lineage from the classical world too. So you can trace the ideas in the Picatrix through earlier tomes, and you can see how they come directly from the Neoplatonists and from the classical Hermeticists. And so when I dedicated myself to the Picatrix, that's when it was like, oh, like I'm an actual Hermeticist now. You know, right. I'm not a guy in a lodge like claiming I'm a Hermeticist. I'm like actually living Hermeticism now. And it's funny too, because we met somebody yesterday who was a Hermeticist that was kind of like on the same like he's a crazy talisman
super
metal
cool
worker guy, and he's just completely identified with just Hermeticism. He's like, I just do Hermetics, you know. And it's nice meeting people like that, because they're kind of few and far between.
Really are. Absolutely. And they are dense, you know, like that's I think the point of those tomes is that there's so much information in there. I always recommend, like, if like pick a tome and spend like a year or two with it and read it again later, like, because
keep working
so many times we read through something and we think we understand it, and then life happens and experience happens, and then we read it again and we see things we didn't even notice previously.
Do one of the great grimoires, right? Like, let's say you're interested in ceremonial magic, spend a year with Eliphas Levi. doctrines and dogma. Like start practicing out of it, spend a year practicing out of it. Let's say you're interested in the Grimoire tradition, spend a year or two working the Arbitel, planetary magic, that kind of stuff. Like pick one of the classic grimoires and spend like a considerable amount of time just practicing it, and that's how you unlock the hidden secrets and find like really, really powerful magic. For me, it was the Picatrix, because I started noticing Hermeticism and Neoplatonism in it, and I was like, oh, like this feels like home to me.
I think
these
Sarah.
are the things that I believe in,
I think Sarah needs it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, Sarah, you need to read this book. This is The Esoteric Philosophy of Love and Marriage by Dion Fortune. This book right here, I think, will help you with your relationship issues.
Idea.
This book is fantastic. I read it in 30, like, I swear to God, I wrote it in like 30 minutes. The print is pretty big. The pages are not fully, it's not like super tiny print. It made me feel so much better about how fail I was at relationships previously. Let me just put it that way. And then it made me see why I had been fail at it. And then I was able to accept it and then not be fail at it anymore. So it's very helpful. Like that, I stumbled across that somewhere random. I can't even remember how I found it. And then and I read it over and over, and I've shared it with so many people. So and you can get it online for free. I'm pretty sure there's a PDF of it online for free. But it's, again, The Esoteric Philosophy of Love and Marriage by Dion Fortune, right? She has good books, gotta say. So I would like to ask if anybody saw anything in the box.
Yes, we need to move on to this.
During the meditation. Please share that.
Yeah, so
we
were doing the meditation, we reached into chest, we have it right here. We reached in the chest and we found the object, our magician object. We're going to start sharing it with each other. This is an intuitive exercise. It helps us link together, helps us work together and actualize ourselves as the magician, because this was the magician chest and we have a personal object in there. And we're going to see what commonalities we see between each other. We're going to look at the symbols of what those objects mean, and we're going to listen to the other person about what that object means to them, because everybody's interpreting through their own symbol set. So we're going to look at the essence. We're going to see how that binds us together, how it strings us together, how it helps us, right? We're going to do this like intuitive exercise with each other.
Look at Eric's comment.
And my experience with those numbers we discussed in our last meeting. Yes, the numbers. That's
good, right?
Oh man,
that's good, right? Yeah.
The numbers we discussed in our last meeting, that was kind of mind blowing. I can't believe that worked as fast. I gave you those numbers and I was like, okay, like, it was like kind of like sending us like, well, I hope this works, and you came back with all that. I was like, oh my gosh. It's kind of it's crazy how that stuff plays out, But I did those numbers came from you. I got those numbers from you. That's why I gave them back to you. So
now he sees it, right? Yeah, that's awesome.
It's deeply connected to your incarnation path. Yeah. Those numbers, 100%.
You got it. Yeah. Yay. I knew that would make you happy. Wow, that's great.
Remote viewing training, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so we're doing an intuitive exercise. We're actualizing ourselves as magicians together, right? Like if we're going to get together every Sunday, we're going to grow together as magicians, become the magician,
Let's do it again. So we did it in the beginning, right? Like can we just all, like, for those of you that are here still, like, let's just take a moment and let's like visualize, close our eyes and visualize a box in front of us, and it's in that box is going to be our most important tool, right, for our path.
Object.
Anything.
Yeah.
It could be anything. It can be symbolic. It can be literal, right? And just what does that look like?
We're going to receive the object. Don't
force
project it. Right. Let the object. You open the box and let the pull out whatever that object is, and then we're going to share it with each other, and we're going to see what kind of commonality we have amongst our objects that we find in our chest. And
Right.
we have our chest right up here.
So if you need to
yeah.
visualize the chest here, this is an example,
Mhm.
right? Okay. Let's-
I got
Heather's
yeah.
comment. Dude,
That-
love you, Heather. You have no idea.
Heather, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Opportunity and success.
Mhm.
Wow. Beautiful.
Wow. I got mine too. I saw mine already. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I got
That's crazy.
so I got a compass. I pulled a
Oh.
compass out of my chest, like an old like astrolabe looking compass, which I think is interesting.
Ah, that makes sense from the globe thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a flower of like a rose, a pink rose, and I don't know why.
Well, Heather, those colors
That we got those last night.
yeah, we got those last night when we did this exercise together,
Mm-hmm.
which is just
Yep. Yep.
yeah. My
Specifically
heart's
those-
like
yeah.
racing a little bit
Specifically-
because you said that. Yeah.
Yep. Blue and green. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And yellow.
But Mr. Bright Star's opportunity and success.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna write this down.
Yeah,
this
definitely.
This is all good stuff.
And then we have yellow. First comment in the chat earlier was yellow, and then we have blue and green.
Yellow, blue.
Those
and
are
green.
the three colors.
Who was
That's crazy.
yes, and yellow.
Yep.
Oh, you guys.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah. This stuff never stops being weird.
Right.
like ever.
Right. So in preparation for today, last night we were doing this exercise to try to see.
To try to fit, yeah, we're trying to figure. We were like, we want to do this intuitive exercise, and so
Uh-huh. What
me
comes
and
to
her
our minds
yeah,
first.
we tried to do it together last night in
We-
preparation for today.
Wrote down what we got, and then we thought, we'll try and see what you guys get, and it's
Yeah,
so
you
far
guys are getting
matching.
the same stuff.
Oh, and then thoth, right? You see that?
Yeah. The
Fucking
thought,
what?
like the
Are you kidding
card
me?
of the
Okay,
thought.
can't. Heather, what are you doing?
Oh
I
my
can't even right
God,
now. Like, I
yeah.
just saw that part. I'm almost peeing my pants.
I can't. Yeah, my heart's racing. I'm
That
like
was
spooked
mine.
right now.
You're literally saying everything I got last night.
The opportunity and success.
Mm-hmm.
The yellow, blue, green.
Thoth.
thought.
Fucking shit balls, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This stuff is
freaking me
mine.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? Not kidding. Like we have notes from like last night.
It's in
Like
the
we can
group
show
chat.
you. Like I'm dead serious. That is.
It's like I never expect this stuff.
I
to
know.
work, and it does.
I know. It's like what the fuck. I thought to myself today, if anybody says the colors I got last night, I'm gonna like freak out and because we didn't say color. We didn't say tell us a
didn't say
color.
anything.
Okay, I didn't
I
ask
kept it
that. I said
ambiguous,
an
yeah.
object, right? Like an object could be construed as not asking, not for, you know what I mean? That's not what I asked for, but yet I got it, and like, you know what I mean? That's crazy. I specifically said object so that it wasn't leading anybody into anything, right? She's laughing hard. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been having such anxiety today, right? Like not in a bad anxiety, but like a excited, anticipatory way,
Yeah.
which I'm not used to.
Well, I
Why
always
is that doing?
I
that?
always get that before.
What's that about?
I'm noticing. I always do that before I'm supposed to be because I'm shaking the table. That's why.
You are?
I always
Okay.
get that anticipatory
Mhm.
anxiety before a ritual that I'm supposed to be doing, right? Like when I'm supposed to be doing something magically,
Mhm.
I get this crazy anticipatory anxiety, like it's something that's like trying to prevent me from doing it, but it's also getting me excited to do it. Like it's
that's exactly.
Like, okay, I need to be doing this right now. You know?
Like I feel like I had to keep reminding myself to breathe earlier, like because I was holding my breath. I'm sorry, Heather. Heather's like, I can feel your anxiety. Sorry. I have a tendency to not be able to fake how I'm feeling, and it's really hard for me. It's like, it sucks. So I can't just pretend I'm not some way. And I was trying real hard to be like just normal, but I could barely breathe when we got on at the beginning. And I'm like, what is up? What is up with this? But I get it now. Like it's
because we're supposed to be doing this. That was
nuts. Okay, so we got success and opportunity.
Opportunity, success, yellow, blue, green, thoth. If there's anything else you guys found in the chest, let us know.
Yeah.
You know,
we don't know what is. You don't know until you know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you saw, just say it.
Yeah.
There is no right or wrong, you know?
There's no right or wrong. We're discovering each other, discovering this kind of like intuitive remote exercise, right?
Yeah, and these are also symbolic images too for you. Like, so what does it mean, you know?
Yeah, like how are you interpreting that, you know? Because it's important to look for the similarities, not the differences, and to listen to other people's symbol sets, right? When somebody experiences something and they get a symbol from it, what's more important than how you are interpreting that symbol is how they are interpreting that symbol, because they are the ones that experienced it, right? So they have the correct interpretation.
Right. Yeah. But you could also kind of unlock things for you too when you hear other people talk about their experiences. It can make things you've previously experienced click, you know, into place. Like sometimes, I know that happened to me a lot in my consciousness studies program. You know, just having to do those horrid group discussions, you know, assignments. You know, where you had to read your peers' comment and then like reply to it. It was like I hated doing those, but every time I do that, I had to, you know, and every time I dread it, and then when I go to finally do it, I'd be like get something from it, and I kept telling myself, why do I keep fighting this process so hard? Like, why do I hate it so much? Because it's always helpful, you know? Yeah. But nothing was wrong, Heather. Thanks for, I'm sorry if I made you worry. I just was like super like worked up for some reason, for no reason, you know, that I could figure out at the moment. But it wasn't negative. It was just like a lot, you know?
I was nervous about today's sermon because I really don't like apocalyptic literature, and I didn't want to read that excerpt, but
well, you look, this is confident.
Yeah,
like this is okay. So Heather, let me just tell you, like, and everyone else here probably back me up now. Why are you doubting yourself? Like, you literally just verbatim said the things that I got. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I literally wrote this down last night. Like, you know, what time was it? Like 1 a.m. something, you know? Yeah. I wrote it down. Like, you said exactly what I got. So you need to trust your psi muscle, okay? Because it's there. It's working. A lot more than you realize, apparently. Yeah. But look, I doubt myself all the time. You can ask him. I always am. I think, what did I say? What did I get? Like, this is just my own imagination, right? Like, I constantly am saying that to myself. Like, I think I'm just making shit up in my head, honestly, until I realize it's not. Like, until there's some evidence to the contrary, and then I'm like freaked out in a good way.
Melissa got a dagger too.
A dagger,
Yeah. So that's 2 daggers.
Yep.
We've gotten.
Yep. I knew that was gonna be in there. I fucking knew it.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I don't think we got a dagger last night, did we? When we did this exercise?
Like no, I didn't get it. I knew it was going to be in there, but I didn't get it.
Yeah,
personally.
We didn't get it, but I think 2 of you guys got it, which is an interesting addition.
Oh.
Saturn,
okay.
Mercury talisman.
We did get Saturn. We did get Saturn. We did get Saturn and Mercury. Yes, we did. We did.
I mean,
100%.
There's no right or wrong answer. We're trying to discover, like through this, but we're hearing the same things.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you know?
Don't be shy. Like, you don't, you know, you don't know. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was golden colored. I think Heather said her dagger was black and then it was gold too, right?
Yeah, dude, I got the gold color too. Remember last night I said there's like this the gold sun illuminating things. Remember?
Yeah, well, because we do the Sunday service with the sun.
And that's what you said. Yeah, that's what that was your response. Yep. Wow.
Welcome to occult science. Is that how it works? You just sit here, you just take notes. Oh, that's cool.
Oh my God. Melissa, you guys, like, yeah, Eric.
I love this.
The handle mine was gold.
You guys
Yeah.
are awesome. Yeah.
Fucking A. Wow. Like, I was not I didn't know what I was expecting.
I thought we were going to get brand new symbols.
No, but that's great. That means that, yeah. That means that the stuff we got was the stuff we got, like, and they're getting it too.
The blade turned from black to a
silvery white.
Awesome.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Wow. I'm feeling some type of way about this right now.
Yeah.
Kind of in a good way. I'm like super good. Like I got.
Yeah, it's like getting on a roller coaster.
Yeah, I got that butterfly feeling in my gut. You know, like.
It's like
the good kind.
The train just pulled up. You're the next person in line. You're about to get on a roller coaster. Yeah,
like that nervous excitement.
Like, what is going on?
For those G-forces coming.
Exactly.
Yeah, fuck, dude. That's amazing.
Mind-blowing.
Dude, this is fucking bananas.
You guys are good.
Wait, what was tripping was the black was actually ash. Is that what it says? Ash because it's cut off here.
The black was actually ashes.
Like that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No,
ashes that fell away.
Yeah.
Interesting. What was... What?
What were you going to say?
I was like, what was that guy talking to us about yesterday about how... Oh, no, you were saying it. About how you can tell the purity of something if you're able to wipe away...
The crystals. The black soot.
So if you can wipe away the ash without it being damaged, then it's pure, right?
Right. So we were talking about crystals because we were in this crystal shop down in Huntington Beach. And I don't know why I just said, I was like, you know how you can tell a fake crystal from a real crystal, right? And he's like, no. And I said, well, you take a lighter to it and you try to burn it, and a real crystal's not going to burn. It's going to leave a black soot, right? From the butane, like, but it's not going to burn it. And if it's not real crystal, it's made of some kind of resin or plastic, it will burn, you know, and it'll warp it. So, but the ashes, you can wipe it away. Yeah. So it's a blade that's pure.
Yeah.
A pure blade that's
pure
not
blade. Right.
Made of subpar material.
If it's silver, right? So silver is Luna. Mm-hmm. Luna is the soul. Silver is the soul.
Right. I mean, but like, so for the theme, right? Like that, there's some that you can buy online, and they're made of resin, just to look pretty, but they're not real usable, right? Yeah. So not that, like a pure, yeah. I get. Oh my God, why is that even? Sometimes, like the fact that we're just talking about that too. This keeps happening.
It's very interesting.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. Well, this was great. If anybody else...
You guys have any questions?
Yeah.
If you want to... Tarot questions. How to handle your in-laws, relatives for the holidays. Like, honestly, I'm serious, you know, about that. You know, it's everybody has some traumas around holidays, right? You know, I've been lucky I don't ever have to deal with that.
I'm nervous about Christmas, but thankfully it's...
Because we have everyone coming here.
Yeah, it's just going to be our...
We're hosting Christmas this year.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Yeah. Hey, that's gonna be so fun.
Cannot handle holidays.
Nobody. I mean, so well, which is now my yeah. So I've got this whole, you know, yeah.
Very
the
loud
in-laws,
people,
the little ones coming. I'm a very tidy person.
We're gonna get through it.
I'm very tidy.
What do we know about the tower, right? We've got our little magic symbol. I think the one thing we should be taking away from this, I gave you guys a very special sigil.
Fucking symbol. You get that? What happened last night, right? I drew that symbol last night.
This one?
Yes.
The pay of Saturn? Okay.
And you made that today? Mine was not very good.
I didn't make this. This is from a
Okay.
10th century
Well,
book.
what the
It's just one
fuck?
of my secret books.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, here. Like, see.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So yeah, this pay of Saturn, this is going to grant you the understanding for the tower, right? So you use that. The pay makes the P sound. It is the 17th letter of the Semitic alphabets. In Arabic, it's F, right? Soft P, right? So you're going to visualize. You're going to visualize that sigil right there, and then you can kind of do like, pretend like you're a Buddhist monk, kind of mantra. Do the just keep visualizing that. That is the understanding of Saturn for your tower situations. This is going to mitigate that kind of destructive tendency that the tower has to do, right? That's your special sigil to use. Little secret, right?
Yeah. I'm okay. So, but seriously, you guys that are having to go to family and stuff like that, and then you have to hear about it, because I don't know why that's the appropriate time that family members choose to kind of like try to, convince you.
Alcohol, but
oh, maybe.
Yeah. It's really hard, like being around a bunch of people that drink.
And then it's politics. Yeah, it's politics.
And they're talking about politics.
And
religion. They're upset about religion. And
I mean, and we have this room here in this house, right?
Yeah. That's
clearly not Christian religion stuff, right? Like this whole room is filled with the antithesis of that, or what somebody that would be religious might find scary, right? I guess. I'm just like, how are we going to do that?
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. All right, guys.
No, we got to be like, we got to be good about it. Like, it is what it is. Don't let people shake your foundation of your own belief or your own path.
Yeah. So we learned about ideologies, about engaging in antinomian action for ourselves to break our own ideologies, our own powers of Babel, in order to break the idols, our projections that we project, right? Because when we are worshiping a piece of ourselves, we're not worshiping our deity. When we are communing with a piece of ourselves, we are not communing with our deity, right? So it's like, place a piece of our personality onto the deity or the other, or the transcendent, and that kind of stuff. We're not really accessing the deity. We're just accessing a projection, a false illusion of ourselves, right?
Right.
And then using that tower energy, we've got our magic symbol. Remember, the pay, it represents the voice of the mouth. It is the pay of Saturn, is the pay of understanding. It is the voice of understanding, right? So that's where we are being understanding with our words, and we are understanding with other people's words, and this is what mitigates that tower destructive energy. With the meditation today, the chest meditation, finding the object, found that's really resonated. I can't believe how well that worked.
Really,
we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep building our magician chest. We're gonna keep extracting out of it, learning about what we need in there to become the actualized magicians. So we're gonna keep working with this kind of chest meditation, constructing a chest here for our Sunday service live streams, and we're going to move forward with the invocations of the goddess every single Sunday.
Yeah, so. And just real quick before we go, if you saw the video that I posted a link to last time, I know some of you commented on it, but you guys heard it, yes, I hope. Right? I just want to know, because we left that last time with the video of an invocation we did with the voices, right? And I would like to, if you went and viewed it and you have anything to say about it, please let me know, because that, to me, I'm glad that the people that did see it were able to hear it, because I don't know how you couldn't hear it, but it always just makes me feel that's crazy when I have some corroboration from other people. You know what I'm saying? So, and Heather, I think that's a good thing to do. Go in, with this energy of we're not going to be putting our stuff onto other people. We take what it comes, right? And see it for what it is, instead of forcing it on others, right? Yeah.
Understanding is the key here, because understanding, that's the Saturn in the Grand Trine. So whatever, if you didn't get a chance to share what you found in your chest, go ahead. You can put in the comments, that kind of stuff. We'll keep track of it, and we'll keep working together.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We have a new podcast episode coming out this week. We had a little bit of a
We had an issue.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we had an issue last week, so we didn't get to upload.
So yeah, we had a car die issue.
Car die, so
We had to get a new one, and that unfortunately had to happen the day that we were going to be recording. But we had to get a new car for Abammon, so we did that as quickly as possible, so we could be back.
Yeah, new episode coming out. It's a guest episode. Really excited about it. We're exploring theosophy with a guy with decades of experience. So it's gonna be great. Yeah.
See, Heather said you heard it. It did sound like a foreign language. Yes, like because I thought so too. I was like, what is this? And it does. It's amazing. Like, thanks for validating that for me. Appreciate it. Yeah. So thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. I cannot
I know.
say how
you guys are great. We